The flood of children has become a crisis for the government as it scrambles for solutions.
Small children crossing into the U.S. in many cases alone without their parents and then getting trapped in limbo. These images obtained by ABC News revealing people sleeping on what looks like foil.
We have countries that are pretty close to us in which the life chances of children are just far, far worse than they are here. And parents who are frightened or are misinformed about what's possible are willing to take extraordinary risks on behalf of their kids. The surge of unaccompanied children and adults with children are arriving at one sector of the border, and that's the Rio Grande Valley.
(1,400 miles through 3 of the world's deadliest countries, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. A trek up through cartel-run territory and months sitting in detention centers. That's what these children are willing to go through for a chance at freedom. 1 in 4 won't make it. They come here because they're told America is the land of freedom and opportunity, but instead, they're met with prisons and chains.
A federal court ruled that it is illegal for the government to detain these children in jails without due process. To bypass this regulation, the government has now started holding these children in detention centers.
I think there's some attempt to make it look like it's a very welcoming place, but it is still a lockdown facility, no doubt about it.
Pues ahí pasé 5 meses metida con mi hija. Pues la verdad con solo acordarme me da me pongo mal pues.
What were you thinking when you were inside that house waiting? ¿Qué estabas pensando cuando estabas en esa casa esperando?
Que los hombres me iban a hacer algo a mí.
That you were afraid the men were going to do something to you.
Sí.
Captured by the Border Patrol, as seen in these photos, they show the teens and younger children packed into fence cages and on hard floors. Advocacy groups today formally complaining to the Department of Homeland Security that 80% of the children had inadequate food and water supplies.
Yo cuento que él pasó su cumpleaños ahí, pues eso fue lo más difícil para mí porque decía mi hijo está encerrado y sufriendo. Y él lloraba en la noche, él me decía, mami, ¿por qué estamos aquí? Él no entendía, pues.
These children need help. The way they're being treated is unjust and inhumane. They need lawyers to fight on their behalf.
Many of the undocumented children that walk into the immigration courthouse don't have an attorney and must represent themselves.
There's children from 2 years old to 17 years old who are appearing by themselves, who are sitting there without a clue about what's happening.
But because the number of unaccompanied minors seeking refuge has been doubling every single year since 2011, these attorneys are overburdened and they need our help.
Nobody, particularly children, should have to represent themselves in these courts.
Without help, these children are deported. They're deported back to the violence that they tried so hard to escape. They return to a crime-ravaged country where they have no money, no home, no parents, nothing. The only people waiting for them are the gangs, like MS-13 and 18th Street.
Más estragos mundialmente, más que todo, es la que tiene más, o sea, no piensa si va a dejar en orfandad niños, si va a dejar mujeres viudas, o sea que no piensa nada de eso, ellos solo piensan en destruir nada más.
But this doesn't have to be their fate. We are going to Texas to help attorneys fight on behalf of these children. We have the skills to make a difference, and we refuse to be bystanders.